Morning first grade parents, this video is just for you today. I want to explain the next 3 weeks of our distance learning. And today between 9 and 11, you're picking up the packets for our distance learning for weeks 4, 5, and 6. Before I do that, I just want to thank you. Thank you for all your support and your encouragement. Thank you for what you are doing with your children at home. I know this is not what any of us planned for your first grade year, and there's a lot of things that we're missing out in class that your first grader was looking forward to, and so was I, and so were you. But you know what? We have to make the most of this. This is a crazy world we're in right now, and we're experiencing things we never thought we'd experience. So thank you for stepping up to bat. Thank you for becoming Lake staff and becoming your child's teacher at home. And you've always been their teacher at home, but thank you for stepping in. You're my substitute right now, and I appreciate it. I appreciate everything you're doing. Know how much I miss your students. I'm used to seeing them 5 days a week from 8:30 till 3 with lots of hugs and interactions, and I'm missing them. Being on the job site here, I don't get hugs all day. I don't get great questions about animals, and I don't get to see that learning, and so I miss it. I miss your students immensely. And I just want you to know that I'm sending home a lot of work, and I want you to do your best. But remember, your child's emotional well-being is very important during this time too. They're scared, they're unsure, why can't they be at school with their friends? So that's important too. Sometimes you have to put the academics aside to make sure your child's doing well emotionally. We'll get through this. Next year in second grade, Mrs. Schauger is wonderful, and she will help your child where they're at. And I will help the coming in first graders where they're at. And we're going to make it through this. I know the cliche statement right now is we're in this together, but we truly are at Lake. And I hope you know that we're here for you. If you need to get a hold of me, have questions about things, don't hesitate to email me or send me a text through Remind. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Remind's probably the best way. And if it's after 6 o'clock in the evening, I'll probably wait till the next day to get back to you, but no, I will get back to you. So let's get started. Your packets you're going to get are very similar to what you got the first 3 weeks. So you're going to get a packet for each week. And then there's also individual things that are in there, some extra math sheets, the weekly readers. So follow the plan in this. You'll notice that on Mondays and Thursdays, we have the focus on language arts with our benchmark. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, the focus is math. Wednesday is science. I'm asking that you stick with that. And the reason that I want you to stick with it is we're starting new units. In benchmark, we're starting a new unit today, talking about goods and services. And in math, we're starting unit 7. And there's new content. Before we were reviewing, we're moving on to new content, and I'm going to be sending you some videos for your child to watch. I'm going to be doing some lessons through video, so I need you to stay with me on those pages. I've also assigned certain math pages for certain days. Please stick with that routine so that we're on the same page and that your child gets the lessons when they need them. It won't be every time they'll get a new lesson, but it will be throughout the unit. Also, I want you to know that it's really important that your child go on Benchmark, their website, to do their reading leveled books. Those books I've assigned them are levelized to help them read where they are and to push them a little bit farther. There's also the books with the spelling pattern, the phonics pattern that we're working on. Please have your child do that. That is a requirement. Also, I've sent home a handwriting book. Haven't sent that home before. We practice handwriting a lot of ways in class, but we don't always use our handwriting book every single day. So when you get this book, you're going to say, wow, you haven't done very many pages. Well, it's because we practice handwriting in different ways. But since we're not together, this is what we're going to do. And on Wednesdays, I have the students doing a couple pages in the handwriting book. Be sure that your child is bumping the lines. They'll know what that means. Make sure they're holding their pencil right to keep that handwriting nice and neat. It helps them for when they transition into cursive in 3rd grade, and it makes their printing legible. Please make sure that you're doing that. Um, you'll find in your packet this shared reading book for units 9 and 10. This won't get turned in at the end of this 3 weeks because you'll need it for the next unit as well. But I will be grading what your child writes in this. They'll be writing in it 2 times a week. There's 2 stories for each week. They read it, they do some annotating, and then they do a writing with the sentence frame that I've included. Please make sure that they're doing that in their personal best. You'll also find spelling words. I'm looking through my packet. Spelling words for each week. On those spelling words, we're working with certain patterns and high frequency words. Have your child practice them. You'll see on there some word work activities. Your children know what to do with word work. They can practice writing them with their crayons, with their markers. They can do stamps, magnetic letters, Scrabble tiles. Practice those words. And if you feel up to it, you could give them a spelling test on Thursdays if you wanted with those words. You'll notice they're getting into some hard patterns, so it's really important they practice them. On Mondays and Thursdays, when you are doing your language arts, you'll see that it says to do 2 pages of the pattern that we're working on. In some cases, I've given you more than enough pages for the week, so your child can choose the right amount to do. They have to do 4 for sure, 2 each day, but if they want to do more, that's great. Please make sure your child stays with the week and doesn't get ahead, because like I said, I'm going to be giving units, giving lessons that are going to go along with that. One thing I also want you to know is that the math book is coming home. We're starting on unit 7, and there's specific pages for specific days. At the end of this 3 weeks, your child's going to take a math test at home. Crazy, I know, but they're going to take a math test at home. You're going to turn that math test in at the end of this 3 weeks, and you're going to tear out the pages that you did. Not send this back because you'll need it for the next time. Please, if your child has problems, they can use counters. Anything you have at home, Cheerios, nuts, buttons, can be a counter. The hundreds grid is in the back of the book. Also, you're going to see that it talks about fact families. That's the new thing for this math unit, and math triangles. Those are in the back of your math book. Tear these pages out. Have your child cut these out on the dotted line, and they're triangles. And they can practice their fact families with that. I'll be sending a video home tomorrow morning that will explain fact families and fact triangles. These are great things for your child to practice on the days where it says math practice. Also, keep your child practicing those sight words, especially if your child was below a 3 on the report card that went home shortly before we started this distance learning. Please make sure that you're practicing those sight words. The Heidi songs that are on Benchmark that I've asked them to do, I think once or twice a week, those are great practice for the sight words. They learn how to spell them because they learn a song. Love to hear my students singing about again and how they know how to spell again because of the song. So those Heidi songs, while they might seem silly to you, they're actually teaching them the high frequency words, not just to know how to recognize it, but how to spell it. Please remember that the evidence of learning page you need to fill out each week. There's science activities. Today you're also getting a Ziploc bag with some supplies. Earth Day is this week, and actually I think today you're going to be doing an art activity. Everything you need is in there. The paints are in there. There's stuff for carrot seeds to plant. There's a Mother's Day card to make. There's things in there that the supplies are all in there for you. Mrs. Shager and I, we packed those baggies, and you've got everything you need. Also, there is a clock page, some clock pages for math. Wait until later. That'll probably be week 3, which is week 6, when we'll be doing those. So don't have your child do the time pages or work on the clock, because we'll be doing that later, as again, I do the lessons. So I know I gave you a lot of information. I know you're going to be picking these up. If you have any questions, please contact me. I'm here for you. Remember, we have our Zoom meeting Wednesday at 9, and Mrs. Baker is really adamant that we make that a priority of everyone attending. It's our only class time that we get together. And please make sure that your child's ready to be there to participate. The last one we had was kind of difficult. I was trying it on a different device and it did not work out as well for me. So I'll be going back to a regular old laptop to do it. Please make sure that your child doesn't have distractions around them, just like when we meet at the carpet in our nest to do activities or a lesson or to read a book. I don't let them bring things that distract them. So please make sure that they have some space so that they are ready. We're going to be talking this week about goods and services when we do our Zoom, and you'll be seeing a video about that later today too. All right, again, thank you for everything you do for your child. Thank you for making them a priority in this time of craziness, a priority of you becoming their teacher. I know homeschooling is not what you guys signed up for, but we're going to make it through this. And I appreciate each of you. I miss seeing your faces, and I so miss your precious first grader. Sending air hugs and lots of love to you guys today. Have a great week. Bye.